I was very lucky. I mean, not lucky that I got breast cancer, but very lucky that my treatment was pretty easy for me. I had to have chemotherapy. I also had to have radiation. And the chemotherapy, I was afraid of that. I thought I would, all the things, I thought maybe I would get sick. I was really sad that I was going to lose my hair. And that was probably the worst part. I did get very lucky. I never got sick one time. I went to work every day, got my chemo treatment in the afternoon, went to work the next day. And that's not very normal. Then I had to have radiation every day for 5 days a week for 6 weeks. That was really hard. It wasn't hard that it bothered me too much, but it was like a job that I had to be at the same time every single day. But I kept a positive mindset through the whole thing. I had just got my dream job of teaching kindergarten, and I wasn't going to miss, being able to do that. So I had support from my family and my friends, and I had just become a grandma, so there was no way that I wasn't going to beat this thing. I happened to be at dance team practice when I found out. The doctor called while I was here, so I had to hold it together for practice. I didn't want to tell them before I told my family. I kind of almost didn't believe it. There was no history of breast cancer in my family, so it was kind of a shock. And the very next day I had to go to a meeting, and I had to figure out my treatment, and jumped right into becoming cancer-free. When I first started to lose my hair, I've always had long hair, started to cut it shorter, just thinking if it would make me feel better. But after my second chemotherapy treatment, it just started coming out by the handfuls. And that was probably the low point. I didn't think that I didn't have any hair until I saw myself in a picture. And then I realized, I didn't have really any left. So then I just decided to shave my head. I've never been a hat wearer, so I had to learn how to wear hats. I have a tiny head, so I had to buy kids' hats. I just had to find the humor in all of it too. But losing my hair, that was the hardest thing. I know that there are a lot of people that aren't that lucky. The one thing I would really encourage people about is, your body. You know when something's wrong, and you need to be an advocate for yourself. It took them 9 months to diagnose my cancer. It took 5 doctors, many ultrasounds, an MRI, mammograms, and finally it was discovered through a biopsy. So had they discovered it 9 months before, maybe it wouldn't have been, so bad. I look at things differently. I don't stress out over things that are just, they don't mean much. My house isn't clean, or I, forgot to do something, or, just little things. I don't stress out over it anymore, and I have decided now that if I want to do something, then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it without saying I'll do it later.